Hi, welcome again to another exciting episode on the Upgrade channel with the CECD Enterprise TV. I'm super excited that you're here again, and we're going to share a very important lesson with you today. Today's session is going to be a series, right? So we're going to begin today, continue in the next episode, and finalize in the last episode. So stick around, don't go anywhere. This is still the CECD Enterprise TV, where we bring you things that would help you become the best that you can be, especially on the Upgrade channel. The whole series is all about selection criteria. Now, let me tell you why it is selection criteria. It's simple. For a lot of us, we don't understand that in the world we live in, there are selection criteria. People believe that as long as they are human beings, they should be selected, they should be picked. No, not true. There is a selection criteria that you must meet. If you don't meet those criteria, chances are you're never going to be selected or you're never going to be picked. For football, for instance, players need to meet a certain criteria for them to be bought by a club because of the criteria they've met. They see that, okay, this player is very skillful, this player can dribble, this player can score goals, or this player can defend. Then they meet the selection criteria to be bought by the club. Now, even if they've been bought by the club, they still need to meet the selection criteria by the coach so they can be selected to play. If these things happen in the world of football, I dare say that these same things happen in the real life. How does this even happen? I'll take you through a story in scripture, and then I'll highlight some points that it relates to you in your everyday life. So let's flip our Bibles. Let's open our Bibles, let's go to our Bible apps on our phones, and let's go to the book of Daniel chapter 1. For many of you, when you talk about Daniel chapter 1, the place that comes to mind of your heart is, and Daniel proposed in his heart not to defile himself with the portion of the king's meat. That's from verse 8. Or beyond verse 8 is a part that you probably did not pay attention to. That's what we're going to be looking at for today, the next episode, and the final episode on this series on selection criteria. I'm going to read the scripture so that you can follow and understand, right? So, it says here, follow me closely. It says here from verse 1, and during the third year of King Jehoiakim reigned in Judah, King Nebuchadnezzar of Babylon came to Jerusalem and besieged it. By the way, I'm reading from the New Living Translation. Now the Lord gave him victory over King Jehoiakim of Judah and permitted him to take some of the sacred objects from the temple of God. So Nebuchadnezzar took them back to the land of Babylon and placed them in the treasure house of his God. Verse 3. And then the king ordered Ashpenaz, his chief of staff, to bring to the palace some of the young men of Judah's royal family and other noble families who had been brought to Babylon as captives. Select only strong, healthy, and good-looking young men, he said. Make sure that they are well versed in every branch of learning, are gifted with knowledge and with good judgment, and are suited to serve in the royal palace. Train these young men in the language and literature of Babylon. The king assigned them a daily ration of food and wine from his own kitchens. They were to be trained for 3 years, and then they would enter the royal service. Now, that's where we're going to stop, and then let's begin to break down the selection criteria. Notice the first thing here. These guys were captured from Jerusalem, and they were brought into Babylon as slaves, no doubt. Now, King Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, said to Ashpenaz, he said, bring the men from the royal family or from the noble families. Question is this: what family are you from? If you think the family you're from does not count, think again. Because at the end of the day, it comes down to the selection from the family you are from. Now, someone says this, and I strongly believe that even if you do not come from a great family, ensure that a great family comes out from you. Because at the end of the day, the who in society would relate to people who are from those kind of families. So you see, you're already at a disadvantage if you are coming from a family that is not well known. But that's not even a problem. The problem is if you don't become one who can create a family that will be well known. So your name may not be known right now, but if you do the work, your name can become a household name. So let's look at the first selection criteria. It says select from the royal family or from the noble family. So which means it's very important that people take their family seriously. Now we live in a world where we really don't care about the family that people are from as long as they have money and all of that. No. When push comes to shove, you're going to be asked, what family are you from? What is your family name? It is very important. So we must also understand this. Now, beyond your family name, there's another thing that we look at, because I'm going to look at 2 areas in this first one, and then the next episode I'll look at another 2 areas, and in the final episode I'll look at the final 3 areas. And the first 2 areas is this. For this episode, who's your family, or what's your family name? What family are you from? And like I said, regardless of the family you are from right now, you can ensure that you create the family that will be renowned, that will be known. So people may not know your father's name, but you must ensure that people know your name by the work that you do, by the impact that you have, by the influence that you have. People get to know your name. Therefore, you are ticking the first box of the noble family you are from. So you may not have come from nobility, but ensure that nobility comes from you, which means you have to do the work to ensure that the people that would now come from you, or people that would not associate with you, will come to you because of the value that you bring. And that's why you will be selected. Gone are those days where people will just select you because, there's no other. Back in the day, if you ever play football on the street, right, growing up as a young boy playing football on the street, you have to be very good for you to be selected. The only reason you may have automatic selection is if you are the one who brought the ball. If you brought the ball, yes, anybody can say yes because you own the ball, then they'll pick you. But outside of that, you need to be very good. You need to be skillful before you be selected to play. If you are not skillful, except a player is injured, you never get to play. You'll be on the side. If you're watching or be clapping, you never get to play. So the first thing you must understand when it comes to selection criteria is, what family are you from? Who's your family? And like I said, in case you are not coming from an amazing family, you can begin the amazing family. You can become that person that people want to associate with. Now, the second thing you need to look at from the selection criteria is that he said only select the strong, the healthy, and the good looking. The strong, the healthy, and the good looking. Now, why is that even an issue? See, nobody has time for somebody who's sick, because you see, when we're sick, your productivity level is down. Nobody gives their best work when they are not healthy. So the king does not have time to cater for the sick. The role he wants them to play for him, a sick person cannot fit into that role. So he says, look out for those who are strong, which means if you are a weak person, you are not even considered. I see we had a lot of people who are acting like weaklings. Any little thing, I'm tired, I'm stressed, drive this jersey, any small thing. My mental health, you are weak. You are not going to be selected because you are weak. You are not coming up as someone who is strong. So you're not going to be selected, because then they'll be thinking, we need to energize this one. We need to motivate this one. We need to ginger this person. I don't think we have the energy for that. So you put yourself out of selection if you don't come off as someone who is strong. And the king was specific with the selection criteria. People who are strong, people who are healthy. So you can be strong and not be healthy, and you can be healthy and not be strong. The king does not want either of. He wants both. He wants strong, he wants healthy, and he wants good looking. See, whether you like it or not, good looks is a charm. Forget it. And especially if you're a female, right? It just gives you that special privilege because you look good. Whether you're male or female, good looking will always be a plus for you. So you need to make up your mind. I say this all the time to people. How you look at 5 is determined by nature. But how you look at 25, 35, 45, 55, 65, 75, 85 is determined by you. Right? So the king said, very importantly, select these people who are first from nobility and from royal family, and then select people who are strong, healthy, and good looking. See, If you don't meet these criteria, what do we need you for? Ask yourself that question. You say, oh, okay, anything goes. No. See. Even the devil selects the best. King Nebuchadnezzar here was not godly, but he knew what he was looking out for. I remember when Samuel came to anoint a king in the house of Jesse. Eliab came forth, and Samuel said, the Lord anointed is before him. Eliab was not the anointed, but Eliab was good looking. See, being good looking is a plus any day, anytime. And it's your responsibility for you to be good looking so that you can at least tick the box off in your selection criteria. So, this is how we'll call it a wrap for this episode. But what I want you to understand in this episode is simple. There is a selection criteria, whether for good or for evil. And it's in your best interest that you nail it and you can meet it, especially if you're on the good side. And this criteria remains: number one, you either come from a royal family or a family of nobility. And like I said, in case you're not coming out from any of those, ensure that you become the person of nobility so you can produce nobility moving forward. And the next thing is that you are strong, you are healthy, and you are good looking. These are the first sets needed in the selection criteria. I hope that you understand this, and I hope that this helps you moving forward as you move on in your journey, knowing that you're not going to be selected for selection's sake. They're only going to be selected if you meet the selection criteria. So remember, this is still the CECD Enterprise TV, and there's so much more you can learn on this channel, on the Upgrade channel, that will help you to grow, to help you to upgrade, and help you to leave good behind. I'll see you again on the next episode.